and equitable nation 50 years ago translated to the digital Bangladesh vision and execution today?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The unbounded joy of freedom with my fellow countrymen who have owned their freedom in an epic liberation struggle. The ultimate achievement of this struggle is the creation of an independent, sovereign People's Republic of Bangladesh.
Our young men and women will be our front runners in turning Bangladesh into a middle-income country by 2021 and a developed country by 2041.
The people of Bangladesh will be primarily working in the knowledge industry, in the high-tech sector, providing knowledge-based services around the world, and not just being a part of the fourth industrial revolution, but leading the charge for the fourth industrial revolution.
While Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman created the foundation of digital Bangladesh, the Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina took the mantle with greater responsibility to realize the dream of a digital Bangladesh. Using ICT as the primary driving force, government services for the citizens, employment for the youth have now become a reality to the people of Bangladesh. After announcing Digital Bangladesh Vision 2021 in 2008, the government has introduced multiple online facilities, digitized payment system, and one-stop service centers to lessen the hassle of its citizens. To eliminate the digital divide between urban and rural, rich and poor, Bangladesh applied a bottom-up, inclusive approach, starting development from rural regions. Spearheaded by the Prime Minister, Bangladesh has made tremendous strides during COVID-19 by introducing online vaccine registrations, telemedicine services, repurposing the National Helpline Service, and distributing relief among the underprivileged. The youth are the future leaders of Bangladesh and will be responsible for taking Bangladesh to the heights that both the father of the nation and the Honorable Prime Minister have dreamt of. Understanding that, multiple initiatives have been taken to encourage youth entrepreneurs and social change makers. Bangladesh is also building a number of high-tech parks to attract foreign direct investment in the hardware and software manufacturing industry. This year marks the 50th year of independence of Bangladesh and the birth centenary of the founding father of Bangladesh, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. In this auspicious time, Bangladesh is moving onwards and upwards, keeping up with the Sustainable Development Goals of 2030, together with Bangladesh's own Vision 2041 and Delta Plan. The country is now well on its way to emerge as innovative Bangladesh, a role model for developing nations. Bangladesh of today breathes life into the hopes and dreams of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the father of the nation, and ensures the voices of the people are echoed across the globe and beyond.
Very inspiring. Distinguished guests, looking back at the extraordinary evolution of Bangladesh in the last 12 years, it is perhaps befitting to say that Bangladesh is emerging, the inclusive, trusted, and exponential one that is geared towards rapid, sustainable economic progress. Bangladesh has been able to establish a new development paradigm through its prioritized focus in science, technology, and innovation. Now, I'd like to request His Excellency Mr. Junaid Ahmed Pollock, Honorable ICT State Minister of Bangladesh, who is spearheading the implementation of Digital Bangladesh, to enlighten us about what an impoverished nation can achieve in a short decade by leveraging ICTs.
Thank you very much, Anu Chaudhary, for your kind introduction and moderating today's ministerial conference. Honorable ICT Advisor to the Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Sajib was a joy, Honorable Ministers, Secretary General of WITSA, distinguished guests and viewers, friends from media. Welcome to the Ministerial Conference at the 25th World Congress on IT, organized here in Bangladesh for the first time. At the outset, I would like to pay my homage to the founding father of Bangladesh, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who dreamt of a golden Bengal. This year, we are celebrating the centennial birth anniversary of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who laid the founding stones on which our nation is built upon. This year, we are also celebrating 50 years of Bangladesh's independence. Bangabandhu dreamt of a golden Bengal, building a poverty-free, happy, and prosperous nation. In 2008, his daughter, the Honorable Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, declared the Digital Bangladesh Vision, which is the modern concept of Bangabandhu's Golden Bengal. The architect of Digital Bangladesh, Mr. Sajib, was a joy, energized her to make Digital Bangladesh a reality. As a result of massive digitization, Bangladesh has experienced tremendous growth in the past 12 years. We are globally number one in mobile financial services in terms of the number of daily transactions. We are the third largest exporter of apparel, and we have surging consumer market with over 178 million mobile subscriptions. We have over 125 million internet users and the ninth largest market for mobile phones in the world. Currently, we have designed over 1,000 e-services and have distributed over 100 million smart IDs and have collected biometric information subscribers. Our middle and affluent consumer base is growing at an unprecedented rate, creating a huge demand for products and services in the local market due to the growing digital adoption and surging middle income affluent class in the country. Many local and global manufacturers have set up their smartphone and laptop factories in Bangladesh, especially in our high-tech parks. We have taken four-pillar strategy to implement Digital Bangladesh: human resource development, connectivity and infrastructure, and establishing e-government. In the last 12 years, since the declaration of the Digital Bangladesh Vision, we have achieved quite a bit and have many success to share. For e-governance, our main goal was to take government services to the citizens' doorsteps through the use of ICT. We aimed at reducing TCV, time, cost, and the number of visits a citizen has to make in order to avail a service. Our aim is to make our government move towards a paperless office, for which we have developed many applications that not only reduce the amount of paper used and significantly contribute in reducing the carbon footprint. Government offices significantly more in a month. The IT and IT-enabled services industry in Bangladesh has also grown significantly in the last decade, from a mere 30 million US dollars export industry in 2008 to a 1.3 billion US dollars export industry by 2021. Major destinations for ICT exports from Bangladesh are the USA, UK, and Germany, Canada, Japan, and Netherlands. To promote ICT sector, Bangladesh in different markets, we have launched the Bangladesh IT Connect portal, through which investors, companies, and individuals looking for the ICT partners in Bangladesh can easily find and connect with them. The architect of Digital Bangladesh, the Honorable ICT Advisor to the Prime Minister, Mr. Sajib Joy, has advised us to create and promote an innovation ecosystem, including in public service, startup culture, and entrepreneurial supply chain. I would like to mention one of his quotations. I quote, "Find your own innovation, find your own technology, do not imitate, innovate." Without further delay, let me invite today's keynote speaker, the Honorable ICT Advisor, Mr. Sajib Joy, for his keynote presentation on building an inclusive, trusted, and sustainable digital society. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable Advisor, the floor is yours.
Honorable Minister Polo, thank you very much for that very kind introduction. Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here today for WCIT Ministerial Conference in Bangladesh, even though it is really happening as befitting the topic. It is happening around the globe digitally in cyberspace, and it is Washington, D.C. One of the first goals of Digital Bangladesh was to build an inclusive, trusted, and sustainable digital society. That is, we wanted to target that the advantages of digitization should reach every citizen of Bangladesh down to the most remote village in Bangladesh. It should not be just for the middle class in the cities. It had to be trusted so that people could rely on it, people could put their livelihoods on the technology. And of course, it has to be sustainable because our vision was for the future, for the next 40 years of Bangladesh, not just 5 years or 10 years. We did not want flash in the pan technologies that would fade away. To give you just a short, to give you an idea of our vision, we originally started, when our Awami League government was elected to power in December 2008, we came up with our Vision 2021, which is that by the golden jubilee of our independence, Bangladesh would become a middle-income country. We are very proud to say that we have achieved that goal. We achieved that goal ahead of time. We achieved middle-income status as per the World Bank standards and the United Nations standards a couple of years ago. Today, our per capita income exceeds that of neighboring India and is one of the highest in the subcontinent. So after that, we have developed our Vision 2041, which is that by the year 2041, Bangladesh will be not a developed country. Our per capita income should meet the standards of developed nations, and we should no longer be middle income. Towards that goal, we are pioneering the SDG. We are one of the SDG model nations. We achieved a role in developing the SDG model that which were the sustainable development goals towards developing into a developed country. Our goal is that, but our Awami government is not happy with just even a 20-year for the perpetual future of Bangladesh, which will continue long after all of us have departed this earth. We want Bangladesh, by its centenary, to be a prosperous country. And that we should have is one of the two most vulnerable countries to climate change, the other being the Honorable Minister from the Maldives being the only other country that is the most, we are the two most vulnerable countries to a safe delta for our future citizens, where we know we are no longer at the risk from loss due to climate change and rising seawater. The public services that we have developed that are transforming Bangladesh. We started with what we call our union digital centers. Those were my ideas. The concept was to develop and to build a cyber cafe within walking distance of every single village facility, trained, who then provide those services to the citizens, to the villagers, for a very small fee. So the villager now no longer has to come into the nearest town or go to the nearest government office to avail himself. He can avail himself of all digital services that are available throughout Bangladesh. And this also provides a job opportunity for those village youth whom we have trained, who provide services in those digital centers. We have created what the world's largest national web portal. It is a one-stop shop, one website where you can go and link to all government websites throughout Bangladesh for any and all services. We developed a national 333 hotline. This is not an emergency number. We developed that as well, which is our 999 number for emergencies, police, fire, or ambulance health services. This is a national helpline where if a citizen has any non-emergency questions, any non-emergency issues that they need, whether it's in the health sector, education sector, even non-emergency police, they can call this one number and they will be connected with people, with experts at those various agencies and ministries who can help them with their problem. eNoti is a system that really enabled our government to transition, that really, I would say, saved our government during COVID. As you know, most of the world has struggled with COVID, with the lockdowns and working virtually. In Bangladesh, it did not affect us at all because we had been preparing to work virtually. eNoti is our digital online government management system. Prior to COVID, it was being adopted by various agencies slowly. Once COVID started, once lockdown started, the entire government of Bangladesh adopted it overnight, and our government services continued as if nothing had happened. We have a national e-government procurement portal under the unit, I believe that's what they're called. This is designed to, you've heard, one of the key arguments that us, as I would call us, we're not poor anymore, but I would call us not wealthy countries. And all the honorable ministers who have joined us are all from developing nations, and I'm sure you feel this way because I certainly do. We get this constant criticism from rich, shall we say, white countries about corruption in our countries. You know, they fail to mention the legalized corruption that they have in their countries through, you know, they have legalized it through lobbying, which we feel is not really honest. So the e-procurement system, one of the goals of Digital Bangladesh is to eliminate any avenues of corruption. And the e-procurement system is one of those avenues. It eliminates corruption in government procurement. Once it's digitized, it is no longer, you are no longer able to manipulate, and bribery no longer works. MyGov is our government portal. We have developed our own GRP. We call it the Government Resource Planning. It is an ERP system that has been developed by Bangladeshi companies Again, for all our colleagues here from developing nations, as you know, the large ERP systems that have been developed by companies from developed nations are extremely, extremely expensive. For our governments to deploy them costs a small fortune. And so the government of Bangladesh, in collaboration with our private sector, we have developed our own GRP software, which we are happy to share with you. It is far cheaper. It costs fraction to develop and deploy than anything from Oracle or SAP. We have an online e-grievance system. We have a real-time eKYC system, and we are about to launch our interoperable digital transaction platform, which is which targets the fintech industry to allow all the various fintech players and banks to interoperate with each other. One of the targets of Digital Bangladesh has been to take our IT exports to $5 billion by the year 2025. We are well on that target. As you know, Bangladesh, we are mostly known for our garments industry. My goal is that eventually our IT exports will exceed our garments exports, and we are well on target in various sectors. Here are some of the examples. I won't go through all of them, but one of the things I would like to mention, I wish I had thought to grab that, is that, but it would not be as visible on a Zoom call, but I was sent a smartphone that has been built, designed and built by a Bangladeshi company. Mind you, this is not outsourced. Samsung is already assembling their top-of-the-line Note smartphones in Bangladesh. This is a smartphone developed by and designed, built by a Bangladeshi company, which when I showed it to my friends here in the US, they couldn't believe that that was not built by Samsung. It is that good. So I believe that Bangladesh will be the next exporter of smartphones, of various other IT services. And we are going to compete very soon with the likes of Samsung and other Korean and huge startup of the IT industry in Bangladesh has really exploded in servicing the domestic market. Our domestic use and domestic consumption has skyrocketed, so far beyond what the export potentials are. And today in Bangladesh, we have many, many startups that are now being considered unicorns. You see, one of the things Bangladesh has, one of the big, big advantages Bangladesh has, which most countries do not, we have the 8th largest consumer market in the world. We have the 8th largest population in the world. And with the developing economy, with us being a middle-income country, we now have one of the largest middle classes in the world. And so these startups really skyrocketed, especially during COVID. You have some of these valuations that are shown here. I don't believe they're valuations. I believe they're probably earnings, because their valuations are 10 to 20x of these numbers. As Honorable Minister Pollock mentioned, we are building and have built 39 total high-tech parks. These are special zones designed for the high-tech industry to come in and set up shop conveniently, quickly, easily. All the infrastructure is there, all the facilities are there. As we mentioned, many of our local companies that are producing high-tech goods are there already. Some of the likes of Samsung are there already. And so we invite investments from your countries, companies from your countries who are looking to set up factories or offices for IT development, IT products and IT exports that need the readily available infrastructure to come here. In order to make it attractive for IT industries, to attract IT investment and companies to Bangladesh, we are providing various incentives. IT companies have a 10-year tax exemption, 12-year tax exemption for developers. There are no limits on foreign ownership or profit repatriation. There's no customs duties. There are no duties on import of equipment and machinery for the IT industry, and especially in these high-tech parks. So we have made it as attractive as possible for foreign investors. And I would like to invite the likes of Samsung has already set up assembly plants. LG has set up plants. I would like to invite all the others who are currently in other countries that Bangladesh has a lower cost of labor, lower cost of operations, and we are already one of the largest exporters of, well, right now garments, but we have the infrastructure for one of the largest export operations in the world. So we invite you to Bangladesh to set up shop, to start exporting. My belief is within the next 5 to 10 years, rather than seeing, say, made in Vietnam, made in China on your smartphones, on your hard drives, you will see made in Bangladesh. Due to superior, I would call it the superior management abilities and skills of our Awami League government. Even during COVID, our economy continued to grow. Our per capita income continued to grow. Digital Bangladesh played a critical role in that. Our government did not miss a beat. Our economy barely missed a beat. Our GDP growth, which had been at 8 and on target to hit to reach 9, maybe even 10%, it did slow down. We went down to 5% growth, but we were one of only 2 Asian and South Asian economies to register a positive growth, despite the rest of the world being in recession. In 2019, our per capita income was 1,909, and in 2021, it's 2,554. So in spite of this, it continued to grow, and of course, e-commerce, mobile finance, internet bandwidth, these sectors boomed during COVID because of all economic activity moving online. We were very quick to roll out digital platforms to tackle COVID. These really helped us tackle the challenges of COVID outside of, say, digital governance and e-commerce. We set up a website for COVID tracking, reporting, advertising the numbers, providing information, and where people could provide either ask for help, ask for questions, or get information on how to handle the pandemic. We developed and rolled out a vaccine management app to provide quick access to vaccines, to provide a vaccine certificate on your mobile phone that allows you to travel, and for information, to send reminders to people. We provided telehealth services. You could call in, and anyone from a village could call in and speak to a doctor and have their questions answered and be diagnosed. And to avoid people suffering during lockdown, we set up a Food for Nation program. This isn't an IT program. This was the government of Bangladesh providing food directly to all those who could not go out and get food due to the lockdown, who could not work due to the lockdown, so that no one in Bangladesh suffered during this lockdown. That is what our Awami League government did. Rather than handing out cash, we provided them sustenance, we provided them food. To look to the future, what are our national strategies? We are not just looking at today, we are trying to look to the future at what are the key areas that we need to focus on to build our own expertise, either for the export industry or to really be self-sufficient and not reliant on other countries for technology. Again, as developing nations, we are quite reliant on foreign countries for most of the basic technological needs. As you know, microprocessor design is only conducted in a limited handful of countries. But technology is progressing so rapidly that I believe that we can take a leadership role in some of the newer future technologies. So with that in mind, in Bangladesh, we are focusing on developing our artificial intelligence skills, our blockchain skills, our IoT skills, and our robotic skills. And yes, we are focused on microprocessor design because we believe that all of this is going to be powered by microprocessors. And right now they are either designed in 1 or 2 countries and built in 2 or 3 countries. And we need to be self-sufficient in that for the future. We have also created several various groups, divisions, centers to develop these technologies in Bangladesh. We have our I see they're trying to call themselves, these slides were developed by A2I, our Access to Information group, who have been one of the key developers of most of our digital Bangladesh, especially digitization of government services. We have developed a Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution, where Bangladesh, we hope to take a lead role in the world. We have Future of Work Lab, where we are focusing on the future technologies that the private sector can use. We have a FinTech Innovation Lab to develop technologies in financial digitization. Because again, there is no standard. This is brand new technology. No one has this technology. No one has developed any standards. And we in Bangladesh hope to develop those. Here are some of the other labs and incubators that we have developed. We have the Sheikh Hasina Institute of Frontier Technologies. We have the Sheikh Kamal IT incubators that are in all 64 districts. We have the Sheikh Russell Digital Labs, 35,000 to be built in the next 5 years. These are going to be built essentially at every school to have school students so that our future generation has IT skills that they're trained in at a very, very young age. We have our we're developing several advanced labs in IoT, AI technologies. Again, we are not just looking to the present. We are not just looking to follow. We are looking to lead the fourth industrial revolution, Bangladesh, because no one has those technologies yet. We hope to be the ones to develop many of them. And I believe that our developing world especially, we need to collaborate, we need to work together, we need to share technologies amongst ourselves, we need to reduce our dependence on wealthy nations. And in the IT sector, in the digital sector, that is something we can do very, very easily because the technology is progressing so rapidly that the technology is outstripping what exists in the Western world. The future technologies, the existing technologies that you see are going to be obsolete within the next 10 to 20 years. And whoever develops the future technologies will lead the way in the digital sector. And I believe that by working together, by collaborating, we can build those technologies ourselves. As I mentioned, we have developed many technologies, many software systems that are far more cost effective, that we are happy to share with the developing world and all developing countries to help you innovate your governments, your IT sectors. And I would like to end with two quotes. The first is a Chinese proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. To that, I would like to add a slight modification by our Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. If you want to go far and fast, innovate together. So let's innovate together so that our countries can not just be part of the fourth industrial revolution, so that we can lead the fourth industrial revolution. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and honorable ministers and distinguished guests, for your time. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangla.
Honorable Advisor, I think that was so inspirational, so bold, and you painted a picture for the future, for our shared future together, with the countries that are on stage and online, and for the rest of the world. Your deep focus on specific targets, your relentless, focus on citizens' needs, your unrelented faith on the youth of the country, and the constant reminder that you have: do not imitate, innovate. And now you've added innovate together. I think that's very, very powerful. So thank you so much for that inspiration. Before we go into the panel discussion, I'd like to do a short audio-visual to see a few specific people who have benefited from Digital Bangladesh and how that benefit is actually reaching beyond the borders of Bangladesh.
Doesn't it look like far away from the city? No noise anywhere. Everyone is living a very regular life. But it's not that regular. They are taking online classes, whether at school or at home. Young innovators like Anwar is in this village. Where is the digital center? There it is, our digital center. Survey of the land is done. Jalil Bhai is now worry-free. Land record ownership change is complete. Medical care is now at the fingertip. COVID-19 vaccine registration is done. Rina auntie has taken COVID-19 vaccine. We can get the daily necessities sitting at home. Shujan has found the job he was fit for. Young entrepreneurs are developing their business in high-tech parks. Let's see what entrepreneur Reshma is doing.
শুধু ঢাকাতেই নয়, আমার কাজের সুনাম এখন বিশ্বজুড়ে।
With all these great initiatives coming together, our lives are changing fast, leaving no one behind. Inspired by these successful initiatives, ministries of our fellow countries are adapting some of the most successful endeavors of Bangladesh. The National Intelligence for Skills Education, the skills of the young generation, and created employment opportunities across the country, even during the COVID-19 pandemic. Ministry of Digital Economy and Entrepreneurship, Jordan, and Ministry of Communications and Technology, Somalia, are adapting this program in their country, hoping for the same result and a better future. The MyGov initiative is creating opportunities for the mass people to avail the necessary government services from one platform. Ministry of the Interior and Local Government, Philippines, is seeing this initiative as a viable solution for the smooth government service experience in their country. Digital innovation has already started to change the way the world works, and Bangladesh is only proud to be a positive piece in the puzzle. Today, Bangladesh is extending her hand to share the same progress with the rest of the world. Only the best use of this bridge of technology can bring an end to an inclusive and sustainable digital world where everyone is equal, with ICT becoming the great equalizer.
Thank you. I would like to talk to Sheikh Ahmed, Honorable ICT Minister from Somalia. A team from Bangladesh visited your country in 2018, and we looked at the aspirations that you have, the shared journey that we want to pursue together. And one of the areas that we looked at is skills development. And one of the platforms that we developed at that time for our own country, the National Intelligence for Skills, Employment, Entrepreneurship, and Education, NICE 3 as we call it. And you looked at that and you saw that that would provide some services to your country to share, to actually address the shared challenges. Would you please talk about what your experience has been in terms of that platform and what you see way forward?
Thank you very much, and thanks to the panel and my country, where 75% of the population is 35 years or younger. So we're very young population. And with that kind of population, we need to create opportunities for them. And to create the opportunities means we have to build their skills, we have to create the opportunity for building their skills. A program we call Shaqamur in Somali, which basically means job creation. And it's using that same model to provide skills, but make people aware of what the future portends, and make sure that they understand what they can use for the skills for, but also to work with the private sector and government to create opportunities for those young people.
Great. Private partnership will also be facilitated. That is exactly what we're doing in Bangladesh. We've involved 23 ministries and 40 industry associations to work and share data. So this is also a data platform. So we're trying to build a crystal ball for the future. We don't know what the future holds, but this job demands are changing, skills needs are changing. So that's the future that we're looking at. So great to have that shared journey together with you. May I now go across the globe online to Guyana. The Honorable Health Minister, Dr. Frank C.S. Anthony, is with us. With your leadership, Guyana has taken many effective projects like Guyana COVID-19 emergency response to strengthen the health system functions that are necessary for immunization, such as vaccine awareness systems, and took similar initiatives.